It's time for another On All Cylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular.
Powered by Summit Racing.
With your jolly host, Paul Sokolis, and special guests, Summit Racing's Alan Revisher, Justin Weideman, Nicole Corey, and Will Schertz. Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho. Welcome to the 2024 edition of the On All Cylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular, trademark. I thought we wouldn't do another one, but turns out people liked hearing our lovely voices, and that's good news, right?
Who would have thunk?
Yeah, it makes me very, very happy.
So with me again this year, we've got On All Cylinders' crack team of reporters, journalists, social media folks, and we're going to be doing a kind of like a year in review / holiday podcast spectacular. We've got Nicole Corey, got Justin Weideman. I am your host, Paul Sokolis, Alan Revisher, and Will Schertz. You want to say hello, guys?
Hello, guys.
Hi, how you doing?
Happy holidays, y'all.
Was it a good 2024 so far?
Solid.
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. 2024 was stellar, and as always, I look forward to 2025.
Did you all stay on Santa's nice list?
I don't know about Justin, but
I'm low on coal, and I'm trying to refill the pile here, bud.
I think I stayed in contention.
Yeah, we're not on speaking terms.
Well, Will, didn't you mention something about like there shouldn't be a naughty and a nice list anymore?
I do think that in 2024 we need to have more of a gray area. We've moved away from the whole hero villain black and white thing. We need like a purgatory type of list, like something situated nice and neat in the middle.
A nebulous Christmas.
nebulous.
Naughty, nice, nebulous. And if you landed on that nebulous list, would you get gifts?
Probably gifts that you don't want. Gifts of some sort. Something that isn't quite coal, but
In 100% wool sweater, one size too small.
Half a box of chocolate.
Like a stuffed sausage.
like if you're an iPhone person, you get an Android. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. It's like-
Ouch.
I was thinking more of like a tube sock filled with marmalade.
also that.
I love marmalade.
Orange flavor?
That's the orange marmalade. That's like my guilty pleasure, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret. I go to Sunday morning. I go to breakfast religiously. It's like my favorite thing. Me and my buddies. I actually bought my own marmalade that I take. I always got that thing on me. I take marmalade to breakfast with me
Okay,
because it's so
Grandpa.
good.
Pocket full of Werther's Originals.
Yes.
Dang straight.
All right, well, let's get on the holiday. Let's get in the holiday spirit here. I got a couple of questions that may help us prime the holiday generator, as it were. We've all heard the song Jingle Bells. Has anyone on this panel actually had like a legit sleigh ride with a horse pulling the sleigh?
No horses for me. Are we counting dogs? Teams of dogs?
A dog sled? Yeah, I think will we allow it?
Oh, yeah.
So tell us, you've been on a dog sled?
So a couple years ago, previous life of mine, I got to go on a trip with Pirelli Tire. They were piggybacking on an Aston Martin trip, and one of the activities they had set up for us was being pulled by a team of sled dogs just around Crested Butte, Colorado, and that was a pretty cool experience.
Like, I assume these are huskies, right?
Yeah. No, they seemed pretty at home in the snow, so they weren't complaining.
Does being pulled in a wagon by your brother count?
Well, so you suckered him into pulling you around?
I did for about 5 minutes.
Is your brother's name Rudolph? That would make it better. It's a
No,
more
but it will
plausible
be
story.
now.
I have never been on a real sleigh, but I spent most of my youth sliding around fields and snow-covered closed course roads on multiple car hoods behind whatever we could get our greasy little mitts on as children, with all the proper safety equipment, of course.
Yeah, right.
Well, Northeast Ohio is good for that.
Yes, it's we are where we are located. We're just on the cusp of the snow belt, so it's either we get 4 foot of snow or we have a green Christmas and a white Easter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have been in a sleigh, but guess not. But we did get 4 feet of snow. My cousin, she lives in the snow belt up over like more eastern Ohio. She got 4 feet of snow like last week. I was in shock.
There's some good car hood sledding.
Yes, now that I know that not a lot of us have had sleigh rides, I know what my next Craigslist Facebook Marketplace purchase is, guys. Don't you worry, I'll get some mules too.
That's good.
Put some turbo on that, please.
Hey, does bumper skiing count?
I love bumper skiing.
All right, so yeah, we'll get next year for the On All Cylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular. Justin, buy a sled, and for those folks out there in the Northeast Ohio area listening, hide your pets.
Yes.
We might be pulling them in for a literal sleigh ride.
It reminds me of the Grinch when he straps a big old antler to the dog's head.
Poor Max.
Poor Max.
All right, so holiday season is the time for a lot of holiday road trips, right? Does anyone have a specific holiday road trip that's been memorable, like either in a good or a bad way?
Yes, I do. Most of my family lives in Buffalo, and as you may know, Buffalo and snow are virtually synonymous. So one year we were going up for Christmas. We were on I-90 right by Lake Erie, so we're getting into Pennsylvania, and it just went complete whiteout. You couldn't see anything anywhere. So my dad, all he did is he found what he thought was the center of the highway and just kept going. And so we made it into New York, and not 15 minutes later, they closed the throughway. So we did not have to spend Christmas in a gym.
So did Dad earn himself a nice present after the end of the road trip?
No.
I mean, that at least worth a warm cup of hot cocoa.
He may have got that. I think he just went to bed.
I have plane, trained, and automobiled myself across the United States at one point to get home for Christmas. You know, you're a little farther out of town, and driving through the weather, you will do anything to get home if you want to see your family bad enough. So I channeled my inner John Candy and made it happen.
It reminded me, we had a couple of us attended SEMA this year, and one of our bosses had a very unpleasant to and from. So if anyone's been stuck at an airport, you know how that desperation sets in. Like, I don't care if it's Topeka, Kansas. I'm going. Just get me out of Des Moines right now.
It's not really a road trip per se, but 2 years ago we had a pretty big snowstorm over here in Northeast Ohio, and that was the Christmas weekend that my wife's gallbladder decided to give out. So I did spend a lot of time on the road on icy, snowy roads back and forth between different urgent cares and hospitals and things like that. And it was a great time for everyone involved. But
did she at least get some green Jell-O at the hospital for Christmas dinner?
Ooh, festive.
She got Jell-O of some kind. I don't remember what color it was.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same flavor when it's hospital.
You need
Jell-O,
to text
isn't it?
her so we know. It's very important.
That's going to keep me up all night.
Something tells me she doesn't remember what color the Jell-O was
Probably
either.
not.
I'm a big advocate for the lime Jell-O.
We learned this the other day. Lime Jell-O with what? Pineapple
Yep,
in
you
it?
put pineapple in it. That's the way to my, like Betty Crocker, that's the way to my heart.
Back in the day, as I'm going to try not to date myself, my parents had a station wagon, and I remember going from Dayton to Cincinnati. It's about an hour trip, plus or minus 15, 20 minutes, depending on the weather. But when you're 6 years old, that's a long time, right? And this predates, heck, the Game Boy was still like 5 years away at this point. And so you'd be there driving home, just bored out of your mind, counting down the seconds till Santa arrived, because this was Christmas Eve. And I remember the only activity we had was breathing on the window pane and writing, they were probably nice pictures or nice messages like ho, ho, ho. But still to this day, if ever I see somebody writing something on a window pane, that's what I think of. But you know what? I think this is a lost art, because nowadays, I'm going to say it now, I'm really aging myself. Kids these days have like cell phones and stuff to write on and stuff. There's no more fogging up the window pane. That's a lost art. Am I the only one?
No, I kind of agree with that, because there's so many like toys you can bring in the car now. They have their tablet or whatever. It's like, oh, I don't need to do any fun stuff, or you're counting the little droplets going down your window if it's raining.
We used to sleep on the floor, and we liked it.
Well, you bring up another interesting point, because these road trips were back from Christmas Eve, and my father was of the persuasion where he didn't let us play with the new toys we got from Grandma and my aunts and uncles. So we had all these awesome toys in the back, but we couldn't play with them because, darn it, you're going to lose all the pieces, and I'm not spending my Christmas Eve searching the floor of the car for your pieces of your new G.I. Joe guy.
I mean, I'm sure you agree now as being a parent, Paul.
Oh, no, yeah, my kids will never get out there. You're going to ruin the original box. Where's the resale value?
I remember playing the quiet game, driving around plowing snow with my dad sometimes, because the heat didn't work in the plow truck all the time. So if you talk too much, then the windows fog up on the inside.
That was a problem for you, huh,
Yeah.
Justin?
If you guys haven't figured out by now, silence is my biggest enemy. I just can't do it.
That's why we love you.
Maybe we don't have a specific memorable one. If you don't have that, what would be an ideal one? Like if you wanted to pack up your friends or your family to go on a road trip, what would it be? Does anyone have any ideas?
To Frankenmuth, of course.
The Frankenmuth, Michigan.
It's so cool there.
You've been?
Yeah.
Tell us.
Oh, I went to that Christmas store, the big one, the Bronner's. Boy, that was like, if I was a kid, I would have died inside. Like, I went as an adult, but it was so much fun. We went in the summer. I wish it would have been in the winter, but I'm almost thinking I might have to take my daughter up there for Christmas. That could be a vibe.
Christmas doesn't stop in the summer in Frankenmuth.
No, I mean, it was still cool, but like, I imagine with snow and stuff, like maybe that could be my road trip, like, because I don't have any good memorable ones around the holidays, if I'm being honest. But that could be next year. I could take.
See, if I'm taking a Christmas road trip, I'm going to go somewhere south and west where the snow is not. Leave my house and go somewhere it's going to be where I don't have to deal with weather.
So is that your ideal road trip, southwest somewhere?
Yeah. I'm not exactly sure where. I'm not married to any particular, place, but just somewhere where I don't have to drive on ice would be good.
Would you bring your immediate family, or would you bring your family at all, I guess, and hope they're not listening?
That's a tough question. It depends on where I'm going, doesn't it?
Fair.
An ocean must be involved.
Are we going to New Orleans? Because probably not.
Oh, do they got them good? They got them beignets. You ever had them? Things are good.
Those things are so good.
My cousin has the right idea. They're going to Hawaii for Christmas.
Oh, that's amazing idea.
Yeah.
That's like, so my mother is a huge country music fan, and that's what my Christmas time comes around, and you go to my parents' house, and I know this is going to sound crazy, but they got one of them CD players. They're in their living room.
Compact disc.
Yeah.
Playing along at home.
That Kenny Chesney Christmas album is just on repeat. So I love Christmas music. That's like one of my favorite things. We were just talking about that the other day, and you can never go wrong with some Christmas music.
Anyone have any favorite Christmas tunes?
Are we talking modern or like classic?
The whole span.
Yeah, we're talking about songs related to Christmas.
There's a comedy metal band I listen to called Psycho Stick that has a song called Zombie Claus, which is a parody of Rob Zombie's Dragula. Highly recommend it.
Can you care to sing us? Burn through the...
No, I'm not going to do that. But I will send you the link later, and you can check it out.
Wait, so what? Say it again so people can look it up.
It is called Zombie Claus by Psycho Stick.
We'll put this in the comments when this goes live so you can enjoy it.
Put that right next to Burl Ives on your hi-fi.
I'm a big fan of Cheech and Chong, Santa and His Old Lady. That's like my favorite Christmas tune.
Father Christmas by the Kinks.
Give me some money. Yeah, that's a
That's a good one.
There's a machine gun in it. I mean, what more can you ask for?
That's a very good tune. Nicole?
See, I'm going to be out the weird one out. I'm just like a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Like, I'm a classic girl through and through. Like, you guys have all these real fun ones, but I don't know, the nostalgia of it makes me happy.
It's not good enough just to say Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. By who? We need a specific artist.
I don't freaking know who sang it.
I mean, Burl Ives is we already referenced Burl Ives, but he's the one from the Claymation special.
You can.
That's
you
Holly
guys
Jolly
can
Christmas.
choose which artist you like.
Ooh, what about Leroy the Redneck Reindeer by Joe Diffie? What a banger.
Whatever Justin said.
Has anyone on this panel heard of Bob and Doug McKenzie from the Great White North?
Yep.
Yeah.
Negative.
They do, I don't know if its official title is the 12 Beers of Christmas. Rick Moranis and Dave Thomas of the SCTV fame, and it's delightful. I won't, suffice it to say that the first day of Christmas, their true love brings them a beer. That's always in rotation around the Sokolis household at Christmas.
That's what always got me about that song. And it's like, as like looking back, it's just like, here's a bird, here's some birds, here's some more birds.
I hope you like birds.
Yeah. How about some more birds and some rings?
Oh, sweet, another swan. No, 7 more swans.
Yes. Who doesn't want an entire aviary for their Christmas present?
John Denver did a Christmas song way back when, and I don't think he intended it to be funny, but the name of it was Please Daddy, Don't Get Drunk This Christmas. And he played it so earnestly, and I always laughed my butt off every time that song came on.
I love old Johnny Denver.
And he did a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer with the Muppets, I believe. I believe that's from the Muppet album. Don't quote me on
The
that.
Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, that's awesome.
Now you're
Objectively.
talking.
The best version of that movie, I think.
I don't disagree.
Does anybody have like a weird, kooky holiday tradition that they do kind of like Charlie Brown Christmas, Christmas Eve? You know, I have a young nephew now, so you put the cookies out and like I get to do all that and kind of see the magic. My mom uses the same holiday plate from when me and my sister Cassie were kids. So like that's kind of, you know, when you put young kids in Christmas and you get to watch that, you kind of get to watch those fun traditions. And it's like, you know, it's a little nostalgia. Like, oh, I did that with my folks. Now you get to watch them do it. So yeah, watch Charlie Brown Christmas and you can't beat that.
No.
Oh, I love that. Like, we always watched the Santa Claus at my parents' house for Christmas Eve. My mom would make like the same dinner every year. And then now, since I have a child, she now will have the same Christmas plate that I had when I was growing up. And we have to make sure we put carrots out for the reindeer, of course. It's very important. They're hungry.
Well, I've got an old tube radio, tube hi-fi with a phonograph, and the only time that really gets spun up, I've restored it, put new capacitors in it and stuff, so it's like you can daily drive it if you want it, but we really only touch it. We put on all the old-time, you know, Bing Crosby, Burl Ives for the third. That's 3 Burl Ives references in one show. That's got to be a record. But yeah, that's the only time that thing gets used, and we play old-timey Christmas music through a 70-year-old.
I can
That's
just see it
cool.
now. Chestnuts roasted by an open fire.
Burl Ives always makes me think of the old Norelco TV commercials where Santa's sliding down, because it was always with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It was claymation. It's like Norelco, Burl Ives, which doesn't make any sense because he has a beard.
Moving away from Burl Ives for a moment, given that this is an automobile-related podcast, or at least on paper it is, we don't have to tell the boss. As long as he doesn't listen to this podcast, we'll be okay. We talked last year, like, what was your favorite automotive gift that you received from Santa? Like car-related, whether it's a toy or like a new set of windshield wipers. You got a Holly 4150 or a 4150?
Yeah, at 4150.
Was there a favorite car-related Christmas gift that you asked for or wanted but never really got?
I mean, you know me, I'm always asking for aluminum heads and and big them Christmas tree cams. You know, if you don't get any valve spring bind, that's the deal. But I'm sure we all, I think everybody at some point asked for the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. Later in life, I acquired a used one, which was pretty cool.
You mean the USS Flag?
The USS Flag.
I always just wanted a Fisher-Price Power Wheels Jeep, and I never got one. And this is why I need therapy. So
I wanted a Kenner SSP Smash Up Derby set.
Was that they just fire at each other?
Yeah, they were vaguely looked like 1957 Fords, but they all had the body panels when you crashed, and the body panels would fly off, and the cars were all, simulated dented and crap loads of fun. And no, I was not allowed to have fun, so I didn't get one.
No fun allowed.
None.
Your kitchen's baseboards, thank you.
My mother was probably thankful.
Yeah. I wanted a slot car set, but joke's on me. I'm going to go downstairs probably today and buy one so I can have it.
Fair enough. You can buy yourself a present. That's the beauty about being an adult. You can be your own Santa if you want.
I'm going to treat myself.
Yes, adult money is my biggest battle in life, and that's thankfully, we do a ton of trips through work, and Nicole gets to a lot of times be my voice of reason. It's like when we were at SEMA, I came home with the Lego DeLorean, and no, I was unsupervised at the mall. Actually, me and Paul were together.
That's even worse.
I tried to talk you out of one of those 1/3 scale F1 cars. You could still be working on that thing.
Oh, 100%. It took me a while to build the DeLorean, but it looks great next to my Charlie Brown Christmas tree in my apartment.
my father-in-law also has the Lego DeLorean, so along with his myriad of other Lego sets.
Which DeLorean is it? Is it all 3 of them and you just build it to
Yep,
what?
yeah, I built mine. The second movie is my favorite, so I built mine to the second movie, and I also had bought a couple accessories online that they have a cool stand that it makes it look like it's flying, and then there's a light up kit. So even you open my Mr. Fusion and there's a light inside. It's very gangster in my opinion.
Do you remember what he built his up to?
That I do not know. I think it was the first movie, but I'm not entirely sure. So
I was always partial to the third with the railroad wagon wheels and the tube amp on the hood.
Yes, that's a hot take. A lot of times movies, the sequels are not as good. I believe the second and third Back to the Future are better than the first.
Dirty fighting words, man.
the third, I think, might be on par. The The second one, I don't know about that. I'm going to have to disagree
yeah.
with you.
You're the
You
first person
lost
I know
me.
that says the second one's the best.
Dude, I've wanted a set of Air Mags my entire life and a floating Mattel skateboard.
Well, let's talk about gifts on a macro level that we would like to see Santa bring the automotive industry, and whether that's the automotive aftermarket or it could be, a brand, an automaker, manufacturer. You guys have any ideas of what gifts Santa should bring the automotive industry?
Yeah, cheap performance car.
That's a good
Seriously, I mean, when Mustangs are 40,000 and up, and Honda Civic SIs are 35. Where's the cars that are $25,000 that have tons of performance potential? They don't exist, and they should.
Yeah, no, I'm on the same boat with Alan. I think a manual V8 rear-wheel drive affordable, like bare bones. Like the rest of the world, I think has budget and bare bones vehicles, and I think we're just a little too safe here. And I want to. So we have all these safety bells, whistles, and that make life more convenient and does make us more safe. But you have all this fluff built into cars now that, as enthusiast, I want something I can turn like. Give me a GM body in white that drives. Like that's kind of my head.
Crank windows, no AC.
And Burl Ives on the AM
Burrow,
radio.
yeah, yes.
That's the 5th time I think we've
No,
referenced
it
him.
would probably be Android Auto. But
Yeah.
But I just want to see Santa bring manual transmissions back.
Yes. Bring back the third pedal. Big advocate.
I mean, you mentioned rear-wheel drive and V8. I mean, man, just start with a manual transmission. 4, 5, 6-speed, whatever. Just, it breaks my heart to see how many manuals are available on the market today.
I think I have to agree with that, Paul. I would say that, and maybe like some Summit Racing gift cards would be great for everyone this year. Shameless plug.
Will, you got any strong feelings?
I'm just going to piggyback with you guys on this one.
20 years ago, Chevrolet, General Motors, what have you, teased, it was called the Code 130R. It was a concept car right in the tail end of the sport compact craze. And it was essentially that. It was a rear-wheel drive sports car. I assume that it would have had a manual transmission. I don't know if it had a V8.
No, it didn't, but I remember the car.
It was a cool little coupe. It had a trunk, it was a hardtop. I guess the Solstice Sky Twins kind of replaced it or took its place. In a similar vein, I kind of want the sport... I say it every time we talk about this subject. What should the automotive industry do? Sport compact revival. Today.
Yes. Bring back single cam D-Series Honda Civics. That's what we want.
The one thing that would save Nissan would be if they actually built that Nissan ID, which was the modern take on 510.
Yeah.
It was rear-wheel drive. It was glorious.
Dude, that's what, speaking of kind of stuff like that, I saw there's some company over yonder on the other side of the world reproducing AE86 by like Toyota bodies. 240 stuff as well. So like the Sylvia platform returns.
We actually carry 240Z reproduction parts now.
I saw that, yeah. If you're restoring an early Z car, 240, 260, 280, I believe, too, you can check out Summit Racing. We got that stuff, and I'm glad to see it because I love seeing Z cars on the road. You can talk about a car that aged well.
Yes, even the brand new ones are absolutely glorious.
So what car-related gifts are you asking Santa for this year?
A brand new car, because my car is on its way out.
It be like that sometimes. I don't know, mine's very basic. Like I have a lot of half-finished projects, so I've been treating myself, kind of buying. I was responsible. I bought some tires for Christmas.
Wow.
Just like little odds and ends. So I have a newer Tacoma that I bought the base model of base models. It's single cab, short bed, 5-speed. The only bell and whistle it has is a CD player. I have a long drive to work, so I bought a cruise control kit for it, and I'm going to give myself cruise control.
Aw, put a little bow on that, all right?
Is that a cable drive?
So it's throttle by wire, but it's almost all plug and play. The worst thing is going to be is adding and adjusting the clutch switch, in my opinion.
Interesting.
I have a Thule hitch mount bike rack. I'd really love Santa to bring me a T2 Pro XT extender so I can get some other people to go biking with me.
So how many bikes can you carry now?
2. That'll add capacity for 2 more, so I could get 4 on there.
Because you're a big mountain bike guy, right?
No, not so much mountain biking anymore. More gravel stuff.
Okay.
towpath riding. My days of risking injury are past me. So
Here we are. I feel like a jerk. We're asking for like fancy new car stuff, and I would like to go riding bikes with my friends and family. Please, Santa.
yeah, but I want to be able to drive to the trailhead, so it still counts.
Will, let's go ride dirt bikes. I'm telling you, it's just as much fun. You got to pedal less and just twist more, buddy.
Now, since Santa and I aren't on speaking terms, I had to go buy my own present, but that was in the summer. I had to get new tires for the Mustang because, unbeknownst to me, the Nittos that I originally had on there liked a flat spot a lot, and they were essentially ruined because I did not overinflate them.
Did you send them off into the sunset with a wicked cool burnout?
No, they couldn't even do that. I was lucky I could actually drive it to the tire shop to actually
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yes, I know.
We listen, but we don't judge.
Now, the Continental Extreme Contacts that are on there, oh my.
What?
Those Continental Extreme Contact tires, those are, go buy 10.
Say you saw Santa's sleigh on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace or whatever classified ad du jour is hot right now. What's the first modification you do if you bought it?
Obviously, the first thing I'm doing is lowballing him.
I got a broken jet ski and a couple lumps of coal.
Yep, yeah, I'm not paying for it. I'm trading to a sleigh. Ooh, it depends kind of power plant. Obviously, if it's got anything but a blown or a nitrous big block Chevy in it, that's I think Santa's a Hemi man, but we definitely have to get him into a rowdy, like a 5-inch bore spacing, large inch big block Chevy.
Lots of overlap.
Yes.
Yeah.
I need to understand why you think Santa's a Hemi man.
I vision Santa driving a mid-60s like polyblock Mopar or something late 60s like a Roadrunner or a very highly optioned convertible Cuda. That's kind of so. I just see him as a Mopar guy. I don't know why in my head he just looks like a Mopar guy.
See, I think he's a not a street rod guy, but he's a hot rod guy. He likes the old stuff. He likes 32 coupes. He likes.
So Alan Santa's a pre-war guy, is what we're getting at.
Yeah, or a 50s, or a Merc lead sled or something like that. That's.
So if you bought Santa's sleigh, would you give it a rake?
No, you got to put airbags on it.
You wouldn't do it. No shackle lift.
Yeah, no shackle lift. You bag it.
That's what they say: is the taller the shackles, the closer to God.
I would be more practical if I bought Santa's sleigh. First of all, I'd text him a few times and ask him if it was still available, because you have to negotiate the whole thing via text, because that's what kids do nowadays. But the first thing I would do is I would put a soft top on it. I just think that an open top sleigh in the dead of winter from North Pole, and being a Jeep guy, I know how it adds like 1% of warmth a soft top does. So yeah, even then, I would put a soft top on the sleigh.
I would want a Marty report on it, so I knew it was absolutely correct, numbers matching. There's too many fakes out there, folks.
You display it on a board at the car show.
Right.
Do we think Santa's a Craigslist guy, or is he more like a Facebook Marketplace?
Say a marketplace, man.
I think he's an auto trader, man.
Yes.
I can't remember the last time I saw an Auto Trader rack. I'll have to go to the gas station and look around.
I'm gonna have to do the exact same thing. I remember my dad buying me an Auto Trader like as a treat as a kid. Like, I don't want a pack of gum. Yeah. Buy me an Auto Trader, Dad.
Because you used to be able to go, now you pay at the pump. You used to be going to the gas station and pay for your gas and be like, well, I guess I'm going to buy this Auto Trader because it's in the rack. And I'll take that 75 Roadrunner. Yeah, heck yeah. All right, so we're getting up to our 30-minute window here, but I got a fun exercise, all right? So they say that each one of Santa's reindeer has its own personality and it has its own character traits. So let's try to reimagine each reindeer as a car model. Now, it could be a custom. I'll leave it even open for, because Alan, I know you're a hot rodder. Okay, so Dasher. Dasher is the fast one. What would Dasher be as a car?
A VW.
Well, I see what you did there.
I think Dasher is like a small, like a baby for like a small Italian sports car.
Ferrari Dino?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
That works.
Anybody else got strong feelings towards Dasher?
Clearly the 96 Dodge Stratus.
The Mob Dodge Stratus. I forgot about that
Best gift ever.
So Dasher's the fast one. Dancer's the extroverted one that like wants to be seen and is highly visible. What would Dancer be?
60 full Impala on bags.
Bass Boat Candy Paint?
Yes.
Austin Healy.
Yeah, big smiley face with a Sprite. Yeah.
Bro truck.
So I can see that one. Alan coming in hot with the good takes.
Thank you.
All right, so Prancer is the nimble and graceful one. What would be a nimble, graceful car model?
Miata.
I'd say like a Lotus Elise, maybe.
That's what I was thinking, a Lotus.
Triumph.
Everybody loves TR3.
Oh, I would love one of those.
Then we got to deal with all Lucas electronics.
I was just about to say, it looks cool, but don't plan on doing any electrical work.
Getting that thing started in the North Pole Christmas Eve. If you don't get your Christmas presents until March, that's couldn't get that.
3
Triumph.
wires in the whole car?
All right, Vixen, sly and stylish.
Either a Thunderbird or Continental. Like a 4-door suicide car, maybe convertible, black, real classy.
Anybody have any strong feelings towards a sly and stylish car?
Jaguar.
Yeah, E-Type.
Bentley GT, maybe.
Yeah.
Bentley GT is a good one, too.
Gran Turismo.
That's a Maserati? Yeah, right on. So, Comet, strong or fast?
Charger.
That's funny. I thought a Dodge Demon, but yeah.
Yeah, Dodge though.
What, Comet? A Comet?
It's too obvious, Justin.
It's an AFX Comet, 65.
Yeah, it's funny that the first thing out of your mouth was a Charger because I was like, yeah, that sounds like a Dodge Demon or something in that. Yeah, but were you thinking of like a late model Charger or like a?
Like more late model, I think.
Gotcha. So that was strong and fast. That was Comet. Cupid, loyal and loving.
Corvette
family
Stingray.
van.
Bug.
Corvette Stingray, Bug. What did you say, Will?
Family van of some kind.
Family van, like a
Dodge Caravan.
Dodge Caravan.
Probably a Kia make.
But I like the Corvette thing because you talk about there's no more loyal fan base than Corvettes.
Nope, and they will tell you that. We love
They
it.
will, yeah, for
Motor
real.
guys are the same way, though.
I know, I agree. I think it's, Corvette is, it's almost, it's as close as to his own brand as any auto manufacturer could ever
Hey,
be.
can we have an island of misfit Corvettes?
Just a whole island full of luggage rack C3s.
It's all C3s. Yeah, exactly.
I
and all automatics.
I love the, I can't remember what year, but it was late in the 70s. GM, for whatever reason, couldn't properly smog the California edition of the 350. They couldn't get it certified. So there's 1 year only, I believe. There's a C3 Corvette available with a 305 V8. And it was the first time the displacement had been lower than 350s since like the early 60s, when they had 327s and the 283s.
That is always like one of those fun facts about, I'll say smog era, late 70s cars, is like that small block makes 125 horsepower on its best day. And I think I'm being generous, to be honest.
And the weird part is it was the reverse for the Camaros. In California, for a couple of years in the 70s, the only engine you could get was a 350. They did not smog certify a 305. I have no idea why.
And they should have just said that Camaro will carry a 350 for the rest of its production run. Just done. We smogged it. It's good. In 2007, when they when did they bring this the 5th gen Camaro back?
07.
Yeah, 07. It's coming with a small block pushrod V8, and that's what you're gonna get.
And we all went, woo!
Yeah, thank God.
And not a single complaint was heard. All right, so loyal, loving Cupid. Donner is temperamental and loud.
I'm going to go with a Viper SRT10 on this one, I think.
Temperamental is anything British.
Covered Lotus, Jaguar, and Triumph.
How about Aston Martin?
That's a good one, yeah.
How about Ford Mustang GT, maybe?
Early 90s Mopar. I'm going to go pickup truck, loud, transmission. That's what gets you is some transmission issues.
I was thinking engine, but more gear whine. That's an interesting take. All right, so last one on the list, we covered Donner. Blitzen is strong and reliable.
Jeep Wrangler.
99 to 02 Chevy pickup truck.
F-150.
F-150.
Toyota Tundra.
The first thing I thought of, very similar to the Charger thing, that when I saw it strong and reliable, and strong could be argued, but the anything with the 4-liter inline 6, or anything with an inline 6, maybe not so strong, but
Except BMW. And fit, like anything where they teach you can learn on the internet how to roll main bearings and something like an N54, I don't want anything to do with it. And they downplay. They're like, oh, it's no big deal. It's just like one of those things. I have never had to do that to my small block powered truck.
Don't do that on a slant 6. All right, so we've been talking for over 30 minutes now on the 2024 edition of the OnAllCylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular trademark. Anybody else have any fun parting wisdom?
No, I just, I'd like to thank all you guys for listening this year. We've had a ton of fun doing these. And happy holidays. We wish you your health, happiness, family. And we can't wait to do this again in 2025.
Heck yeah. I don't know if you're on the naughty list, the nice list, or the nebulous is our new one. Thank you, Will. So hopefully you make one of those.
If you live in a place that doesn't get snow, go out and make tire smoke.
If if you live in a place that doesn't have snow, I think you're better off, to be honest, sometimes.
No exaggeration, it is snowing. As we jumped into the podcast studio, I did notice it's starting to flurry, and they're saying it's going to snow for like at least the next 8 hours. So
Love that.
Well, on behalf of the staff of On All Cylinders and Summit Racing, thank you so much for another great year of podcasts and content from our social media to our blog to Summit Racing, the folks in the retail store. Thank you so much from all of us to all of you. Have a great holiday, and we will see you in the next year. This has been the 2024 edition of the On All Cylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular.
TM.
This has been the On All Cylinders Holiday Podcast Spectacular.
Powered by Summit Racing.
We'll return to our regular format for our next episode when it's posted on OnAllCylinders.com.
OnAllCylinders.com.